Hello and welcome to Vitality Women Leading Audaciously. Today, my honored guest is Carla Harris. She is the managing director and founder of the People Institute. And I am so excited and curious to learn more about what that is and how she got there. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. She's in South Florida. I'm over here in Southern California. And it's just incredible that we can be together. So I just want to honor the synchronicity of it all.
Absolutely. I look forward to it.
So tell me a little bit more about how you got to be the CEO and founder or the managing director of the People Institute and what it is you all do.
So the People Institute is the third iteration of my company. I started in 1997 as an image consulting firm. And I worked with organizations in the area of professional development, business etiquette protocol. And here I am in this year, 25 years later. And I decided that the People Institute was really what we did. We help people be better people, right? So how do you work better with others? How do you bring your authentic self to the workplace? How do you engage from an air of transparency in the workplace? So that's how we got to where we are today. And it's exciting. It's exciting to help organizations in a time of change. Over the past few years, it's been pretty tumultuous, as you can imagine, with diversity and outcries and all sorts of things. And really, it's about just understanding how we can be our best selves, because that's all we can control, right? Is who we are.
That's it.
That's it. So that's how we got where we are.
And where's your passion in it? What is the thing that has you love what you do?
Oh my gosh. I would say when there's the aha moment, right? The aha moment, we're doing a session or I'm coaching someone and they say, you know what? I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
When a person says, I never thought about it that way, I know I've made an impact. When I first started as an image consultant, and I would, bring and work with clients on how they presented themselves, right? And they would say, I would have never put that together. And I love it. I knew I've done my job, right? So the same thing with coaching and the same thing with training and development. When the people are able to look at a problem from a different perspective, or if they're able to hear their colleague bring a different bit of wisdom to whatever the solution is, and they say, I wouldn't have thought about it that way, then I know that's that aha moment. And that's what keeps me going.
Totally. I feel the same way in what I do. It's like I live for the aha moment because I know that their lives have been changed forever. And, you're working with them in the workplace. And it's funny because we spend more time at work than we do with our families or anywhere else now. So, and people have been separating their personal work, their personal development work from their professional work, which I think is no longer happening. I feel like, especially with COVID, bringing work into the home, there's no separation. And it's like, there's an elephant in the room when someone hasn't responded to 6 emails, or, there's been a deliverable that you don't feel capable of doing, but you also don't feel confident enough to ask for help. And it's like, addressing these things head on is the way you retain employees, the way you increase, your, satisfaction in your workplace. And it's such important work, and it's so obvious, but we're so archaic still in our mindset around it, isn't it? It's like what you do is so needed.
It's really interesting because our tagline for the People Institute is humanizing business and developing relationships. And when leaders decide to implement the human aspect of work, because you can't run a business without people, right? So turnover, we know, is very, very expensive. So the key is to develop the people that you have in a way and share the vision with them in a way that they buy into it. It becomes a part of their value system. And you grow the company instead of focusing always on replacing the seats that turnover creates. So we have to have that human approach.
And we have to.
Absolutely.
Have to, especially for women. I don't know, probably also men, but I mean, I really need it just in my personality, my relationships, my work, everything. I absolutely, it's like a requirement.
Yeah, I think COVID hit us really hard for women who need to have that engagement. I know for me too, it hit me really hard. And I had just relocated back to Florida. And a year later, here we are on lockdown. I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And I created a pathway through these kinds of engagements, through conversations with Carla, through coffee connections, where you just bring people together to have coffee and feed off the energy that way.
Yeah, it really makes a difference. I'm really eager to bring people here to where I am in Southern California and have like day-long retreats, or it's just, I think I just crave being in person now. But it's true that we need connection, and we also need connection with ourselves, because you are a mom and you are running your business, and you're probably doing a lot of other things in life too. And what do you use to manage your life? I think balance is kind of a fake word, because it's what is that even? But how do you kind of find your flow, find your groove, get your balance?
Well, unfortunately, I don't always get it enough. I came back to Florida because I tell people that the ocean was calling my name, right? So I'm a big beach bum. I love going to the beach. I need that time to literally feel the sand between my toes.
Love that.
I'm a woman of faith, so I pray. I have a very strong relationship, a spiritual relationship, and that's important to me. So when I can take both of those pieces, right? When I can go to the beach, because where else can you commune with God than at the beach? And it's just the epitome of creation is right there, right? Tell me a man who created the ocean and the sand, right? But I digress. So that's where I really find my center, if you will, where I'm able to get back to myself and dream and think and process is at the beach. And not only am I a parent, I'm a single parent, right? So I'm a single parent of a teenager. So, that's a couple portions that I really don't like dealing with, but life is what it is.
Life is what it is. And you and I are so aligned. I feel exactly the same way about the beach. Like, I need the ocean. Like, I'm thinking about relocating and I'm like, oh my God, but I just love the ocean. I can't move away from the ocean. It's like my sacred place where I can be with God.
Come on.
Yeah. Which beach do you go to? What's your favorite beach?
Well, I'm now living in Broward County, which is north of Miami. So I go to Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Nice.
When I lived in Miami before, I would go to South Beach, but I was much younger. Didn't have any kids. So now I go to Fort Lauderdale Beach. It's a little bit more laid back.
Yeah, I love all those. I mean, really, they're all beautiful. The entire coast up in Jupiter, so beautiful. But I'm a single mom, and I'm a woman of faith. So I'm just like listening to you, and I'm thinking how even more synchronicity is here in this time we have together. It's extraordinary. Yeah. I mean, how often do you get to the beach?
Not often enough. I literally this morning had a conversation with a very good friend of mine, and she said, you got to take your times. You got to take those moments and live in and process whatever it is that you need to process in that moment. And she asked the same question. When's the last time you've been to the beach? And I would say it's probably been a month or two. And I'm due for it.
Yeah.
I'm due for it, and I need to put it on my priority list.
All right, we're just little reminders. She and I, we're just little gentle nudgers.
That's right. Yeah. So now you're the second person, and one day, same day, I need to get over to the beach.
Because you have those like spontaneous moments of inspiration.
Mhm.
When I feel my smallness in the face of a massive ocean and waves, or the mountains that I'm looking at right now, it is such a great reminder of why I'm here and what I'm in service of, and it's like everything comes into perspective for me. It's so exciting.
Yeah, I was in LA in August. I have a brother who lives out there, and I had two of my favorite things in one location, and that was the ocean and the mountains. I mean, it is. I kept taking pictures. It was my daughter's first time in Los Angeles, and she says, "Mom, how many pictures of the mountains are you going to take?" I said, "As many as I need to feel what I feel." I mean, it's the one place where it has, I mean, you want to talk about faith, right? It's the one place where it all comes together. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine that. So think about that the next time you go and you're standing at the shore and you're looking out and you see the mountains, how you just, it gives a whole new perspective
Yeah.
to our smallness in the scheme of life. You know what I mean?
I
And I don't
do.
mean that I don't mean that negatively at all, but just when we think about who we are and what we bring, and if we're facing a problem, think how small that is when you think about the ocean
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
the mountains. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh, it's incredible.
It is. And there's like this magnetic pull when I'm standing in the water of the, this like slightly, it sucks down and
Mhm.
under, and then the wave comes over. And I think there's something that's correlated to how we let go of things that
Mm.
we're holding on to. And it could be that we're holding on to, wanting to lose weight, or wanting to, stop getting triggered or reacting, or, we want to, these things that we want to let go of. And I feel like it's a similar thing. It's like you take a breath, you let go, and then the wave comes, and then you kind of take a breath, let it go. And it's like a great example of kind of how our heart functions, how our colon is functioning, how all these different bodily systems are functioning. And the ocean is always a great reminder for me of just letting go, because we're just so much we're not in control of.
I think I lost you for a minute.
Yeah, you're back. There was like a little
Okay.
pause. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we were both frozen. I didn't see you moving either.
So Carla, it sounds like that's your recharge. Like when you're feeling tired or you're feeling low, it sounds like going to the ocean is really something for you that completely recharges you as well.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. For our listeners, I ask every woman on the show this question, and the answers are never the same. And I find that to be really fascinating. It's like we have to give ourselves permission to
Mhm.
either go to the beach, or if you're lucky, it's really close to you. A lot of people, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, or journal, or sometimes, watching, Netflix or whatever it is. And I came to a realization this weekend, actually in a Bible study, around the word meek. And I was really not enthusiastic about this Bible study, because I thought, meek, like, that's just so not me. And, and I realized how important it is, and how I need to really become more meek. But the reason I'm telling you this story is because we realized inside of this conversation that the things we do for rest are not always restorative.
Mhm.
The like mind numbing
Mhm.
things, or the glass of wine, or the things that we might do for kind of rest, aren't really fully restorative. And I just thought that was a really important distinction just to bring to our minds today, you and I, and then whoever is listening to this, to reconsider what we're doing actually. Uh,
Yeah.
and we need it. We need to recharge like once a week, especially as single parents. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
it
And
takes,
you have a son or daughter that's
I have a
17?
daughter. She's 17, and she's giving me a lot of space. and my job is to let go and trust. But it takes more than I have. And it's taken more than I have these last 17 years.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard. It's a hard path to walk. Um, my daughter is 16, and we just went last week on our college tour, first college tour for me. She went with her school a few years ago, but it's really the sort of that pull, the tug of war that you have when they're that age. And as an entrepreneur, it's exhausting, if I can be truly candid.
Please.
It's exhausting, and fulfilling and overwhelming all at the same time. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
But I think my goal, I know my goal has always been to raise a healthy woman. That's
Right.
my goal, right?
Mine too.
Because I think as women, we have to make sure that we are strong within ourselves so that we can be stronger for those around us. I don't have a son, so I can't say whether or not they're raised the same way. But I do believe that it's hard. It's hard, and it's hard as a single mom to do that and do it effectively. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm like, am I really doing the right job, the good job, the best job?
We can't. I mean, yeah, I think that all the time. And I don't think that we can actually. I don't think that I always look at nature for my lessons in life, and the way nature created, there is a father and a mother, and there's a reason why, God created
Yeah.
it that way.
Yep.
And so I know that I'm doing a completely inadequate job, but I also know that I'm doing the best job I can. And that there must be a divine plan behind the fact that her dad and I split up and that I raised her on my own. So it must have been
Yeah.
some kind of protection or some kind of, I believe that everything is divinely anointed. And I think that's part of the reason why I have such a positive outlook on life, and I have so much joy in my heart and so much hope for the future, because I really genuinely believe that. I also believe I have free
Yeah.
will and control over my circumstances.
Yeah.
I'm in action every day.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure I'm entirely inadequate. I made a lot of mistakes, but you know what? I'm really proud of the woman she's becoming.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It was rough. 15 to 16 was really, really rough.
Yeah.
And then kind of towards the end of 16, now into 17, it's a whole new level of awareness and clarity and connection. And she's so cool. I love hanging out with her. It's like she's like my favorite person to hang out with.
Oh my gosh, you're giving me something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So my daughter will be 17 in November. So I'm almost at the 6-month mark, right? So then we'll be, so you're giving me something, Jennifer, to look forward to, those moments.
Oh my gosh.
16 has been rough.
Oh my God. Yeah, we go shopping. We did a spa day last week.
Yeah.
Like she's like, oh, when are we going to do this, Mom? And I want to go here with you. And can we it's just so sweet. Yeah. So, but it's taken me a lot of work to also work on myself.
Yeah. Of course.
And also for me to respect and listen to her. And that gets tricky because if we're too close, then, there's a power struggle, and then she kind of takes over. She's very strong and independent. So it's that fine line of like, I'm still your mom.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my
I
gosh.
can totally relate.
Yeah. Oh my God. So Carla, do you have any words of wisdom? Well, before we do that, actually, I'd love to know how people can find out more about you, and who is your kind of ideal customer for your company.
So our website is instituteforpeople.com. And our ideal client is the client that says, my team is a mess. The client that needs to, who wants to build a culture that is inclusive and is open and transparent, So, but, I guess specifically, we work with companies that are generally about 35 employees or more. We work nationally. So even though I'm based here, we do virtual training. We have not put that aside post-COVID, well, almost post-COVID. But we also, we travel, work with clients all across the country.
There's a very loud helicopter going overhead, so it's just
Oh, that's all right.
just coming out. I'm really close to the park here, so I just was letting that go overhead. I love that. They're saying my team is a mess, right? That and I know so many CEOs who feel that way. And it's like they're in dire need of repair. And it's not like a Band-Aid. You got to really go deep into the organization and deal with the relationships, the relational, because we're bringing our wounds into our workplace.
Oh, absolutely.
All of our trauma wounds, emotional wounding, and that's not professional. But there's a way there are techniques and tools which I'm sure that you implement to help them heal that. Beautiful.
And sometimes, Jennifer, the issue in the messy team is the leader. So leaders have to really be where, how. Are you back?
I can hear you. You're there.
Okay, good. Okay.
I don't know what happened to the internet.
So I think, leaders have to also look within and see where they're contributing to the message of their team. They clear in their communication.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Yeah. Carla, any last words of wisdom for our listeners today who are on the path, entrepreneurs who are also mothers and wives and having just very full lives, but are really wanting to make a change in their life? What advice or words of wisdom do you have for them?
I would say don't give up. It's not the end of the world. So don't give up, keep pursuing, keep moving, keep growing, keep investing in yourself. No is a complete sentence, right? There's a period at the end. Sometimes there's an exclamation point at the end, but no is an absolute complete sentence. And do what makes your heart sing is really important. Finding that sense of passion is really, really important.
Love it. Yeah. Yep. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
So beautiful. Oh, I really appreciate those words as reminders, because so many times we want to give up because it gets so hard. And we don't say no enough to set boundaries. Yeah. Thank you for that reminder. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.